So today I want to talk about the surprising and often overlooked benefits of creating a body of work. And I'm primarily talking about a body of digital content that you have made available. Because one thing you got to say about me, I have been pretty prolific in my output for decades, 30, 40 years. I have been writing and creating things and making much of what I've created freely available online in the form of books and blog posts and podcasts and YouTube videos and interviews, courses. The list goes on and on. For whatever reason, something within me just compelled me to create these things and get them out into the world. But a lot of people are reluctant to do that. They may want to do it, but it feels like a burden. They just don't make time for it. They're confused about what to put out there or how to do it. And I get it. And so they hold back and they don't get a whole lot of content out there. You might do it for a short burst of time and then get bored or get distracted. So I want to give you some extra incentive, a little bit of motivation to create your own body of work and why there's so many benefits in being prolific in your content. All right. And the things that you make available, both for free. I'd say 90% of everything I've ever created, I've freely given away in small bite-sized chunks. Of course, some things I hold back for sale in the form of books and online courses and things like that. So here are the benefits. Okay. One, if someone discovers you, if you're active online, there's already going to be somebody new who's discovering you. Over time, you will have your regular readers or viewers or listeners and maybe some longtime fans, but you always want to be bringing new people into the fold. And so when someone new discovers you, and especially when they go, oh, I like this. This person is speaking my language. Wow, do they have anything else? So they're going to wonder if you have anything else that they can consume and enjoy. And people who really resonate with you will actually binge watch your stuff. Haven't you ever done that? You discover a podcaster or a YouTuber or something and you're really resonating with what they say, and you go and start watching every video they've ever created, or at least a bunch of the recent ones. You know what I mean? You're binge watching, just like someone would do that on Netflix. Other benefits is that it's just good for awareness and branding. Like the more stuff that you put out, the more likely someone is bound to come across your content. Because just putting one or two things out, it decreases the odds that someone will discover you. So it's a numbers game in a way, is that the more stuff you have out there, the more platforms you're distributed on. Not that you have to go crazy being everywhere, but the more stuff you have out there in more places, the more likely it is that someone somewhere is going to discover you. So it just increases your odds of connecting with that person that you want to speak to and serve. But here are some other really cool reasons and benefits of having a body of work. You can actually, even if you give stuff away, like I do, like I said, 90% of just about everything I've created, I've freely given away in small bite-sized chunks. But you can repackage that stuff. Actually, there's some books that I've published. I published 16 books over the past 30 years. And I can't remember how many books, but 2 or 3 of them at least were compilations of blog posts and things that I had written that I just compiled. And originally the blog posts were totally free. You could still find them online, but I just put them together in a package. I edited them. I put them in an order that made sense. And I basically made it easy for people to get them all in one spot. And I remember the fears that I had of, oh man, if somebody figures out this stuff's available for free, they're going to complain. Not one person has ever bought one of those compiled books and said, hey, wait a second, I read this online on your blog. No one ever did, because people aren't as familiar with your work as you like to think that they are. They skim your stuff, they enjoy it, they attach your name to the benefit that you deliver. That's a good branding thing, but they're not going to remember everything. And even if they do, they'll still appreciate you for putting it together and packaging it for them in a convenient way. All right? So you can actually package some of the stuff that you've given away for free and sell it. Or you could use some of the stuff you've created as a bonus. Maybe you're selling an online course or a collection of books or whatever it is that you're selling, coaching package or whatever. And you say you'll get these extra special reports or bonus things. And they may have been things that you gave away, put out there for free originally, but you just repackage them and say, these are bonuses that you get if you act by this certain date. You don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. Once you have a body of work, you can go back and repackage and repurpose things too. You should always be creating new stuff too, but don't forget the opportunities that you have to repackage stuff. And here's another really good one, especially if you do coaching and one-on-one type of services. I know a lot of people that are in heart-centered, purpose-driven fields. They feel bad because they want to help everyone, but not everyone who needs their services can afford to pay them. And so you end up, perhaps you've done this, giving your stuff away, doing it super cheap. And when it's a service-based thing that involves your time, that can be a real drain and it can wear you out because you're just giving away so much of your time. You're distracting from the time you could be spending with your family or on your health and your own well-being. And so one great thing that you can do when you get to the point where there are people who pay you and those people you want to focus on and serve them, and then people who can't pay you, you always have the choice of doing things for people at a discount. You can do this on a case-by-case basis. But for the majority of people who just can't afford it, you point them to all the free stuff that you have out there. That's what I do with my YouTube channel and my podcast. I do a little bit of coaching to help people grow an audience and make a difference in the world and monetize their gifts and talents. And there are some people who would love to have some one-on-one time with me, but they just don't have the budget to invest in that. And so instead of just telling them, sorry, you're out of luck, hit the road, pal. Well, I tell you what, I've got thousands of videos, hundreds of podcasts, and I point them to where they can consume all my free content on those topics. I might even point them to a specific video that I think would be particularly helpful to them. But it only takes a little bit, a few minutes of my time to gather that stuff and send it to them instead of having to get on a Zoom call or meet them in person for free or for very little money, which is just there's not enough hours in the day to do that. And so that's the benefit of creating. And so if you have not been creating a lot of content, you don't have that option of sending people to the stuff you've already created that could help them. So there you go. Those are just some of the benefits of being prolific and creating a body of work that you can use in so many different ways. I would love your thoughts. If you have a way to leave a comment here, let me know if you can relate to this, and especially if it's motivating you to get busy putting stuff out into the world, because there are so many benefits to doing so. Before you head off into the rest of your day, I also want to invite you to download a free copy of my new guide called The Impact Formula: 6 Steps to Grow an Audience, Make an Impact, and Leave a Legacy. These are the very same steps I took to grow my YouTube and podcast audiences. And I would love to share that journey with you. Just visit bobbakerinspiration.com to grab your copy now. There's also a link to it in the description or the show notes of this recording. Thanks so much for your time and attention. I hope you benefited from this and found value. Until next time, this is Bob Baker saying so long for now.